Hi everyone, it's Albert here, and welcome to another episode of Software Engineer Interview Questions. And today I would like to share a very unique and challenging interview experiences, and I really learned a lot. So let's get started. The background of this interview: the company I talked to is a mobile app startup in Silicon Valley, and the role is a full stack software engineer, specialized in front-end web development. And the first round is a typical phone screening, asking some typical questions. But then the second round of phone interview, I was assigned the main task for this interview, which is to build a product level React app. And what I mean by product level is that this project will be transformed into a real product of their web portal. And here's the product spec for this project. I have to implement a 5 pages React app, including one pop-up modal. The modal is for user to fill in some informations and filters to decide what kind of data and information to be shown on the page. And this is an end-to-end implementation. I have to start from implementing the HTML and CSS from the design files, and then transform the HTML into React app and reusable React components. And I also have to make sure that the web page is mobile responsive, looking good on phone and tablet devices. And also I have to connect to GraphQL backend to fetch data. And as you can see, this is a very complete, fully fledged React project. And the tech stack the company use, they mainly build the React app in next.js frameworks, and they build the functional components with React hooks instead of the classical React class components. And they also use Apollo GraphQL as backend and querying in the front end. And myself, I also use Bootstrap and React for styling purposes. I leverage some Bootstrap components and the Bootstrap grid system to make sure the page is mobile responsive. And when going through their code bases, I also see that they're also using TypeScript and Sass. But if you are familiar with Next.js, this is not a mandatory requirement to build React app in Next.js. So I just go with the vanilla JavaScript and CSS. And before this project, I didn't really have a lot of experiences with Next.js, React hooks, and especially GraphQL. And some other challenges I have in this project is that first, I noticed I'm not proficient enough on UI implementation from scratch. So next time, if I were going to implement a more complex layout web page, I will probably consider to build a layout and design first in Bootstrap Studio, and then transform it into React app and components. And to better run and use GraphQL query in React app, React hooks is nearly a must, which I don't have a lot of experience with. So I was kind of learning and adapting React hooks and context API when building the project. And last, I noticed that GraphQL query sometimes is pretty hard to debug because the error messages is not very explicit. And also there's not a lot of like documentation or Stack Overflow discussion on the internet. So that is kind of one other pain point I have throughout the project. And some of the key learnings I have from this project is first, I should have adapted to the company's tech stack at the beginning. For example, I was building my app using Create React App separately, but later on I was told that my code should be merged into their code base as a separate page. So I was spending extra time in order to transition my app into their code base. And second, I should have been more conservative on the working time I need, because like doing the styling, layout, debugging, and learning the new tech stack, everything just needs time. And lastly, I also acknowledge that I have a lot more to learn. For example, how to build app in next.js, how to write React hooks, to utilize context API to avoid prop drilling, and how to fetch data, GraphQL endpoints, etc. And the key takeaways I have from this project, first is effective communication is super important, no matter in interview or when starting working for a company. For example, communicate on the time you need on the project or the difficulties you have and the support they can provide. And I also know I have some limitation throughout the project, and I will keep improving on the tech stack and the domain knowledge. And in software engineering, there are just unlimited things and skills to learn. Like before this project, I didn't know that I will be working on next.js and GraphQL. So the best thing I can do is just learn on the go and keep up to speed as much as I can. And even though learning and applying new knowledge at the same time can be very stressful and frustrating because you always have a lot of bugs, a lot of things not working, I'll try to keep a positive mindset and treat everything as a great learning experiences. And that will be all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.